Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecies Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
NuSpecies' mission is to help our clients live better and longer. NuSpecies invents and manufactures our own line of high potency herbal formulas that are all designed to help your body be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. But a good health choice is different for each of us. And so that is why we host this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. so that you can get the answers to your questions that will help you continue to move along your own unique health journey. So thank you so much for joining us today. If you're over on Facebook Facebook and YouTube, the chat comes right through in front of us so we can see. But if you're on Instagram and you want to join in the chat today, maybe you want to use this opportunity to come on over to YouTube so that we can see your chats during the show.
And if you like NuSpecies, which I assume you do, please like us and subscribe to us. And you have friends and family, please ask them to join the live stream. I know a lot of you recommend a lot of people who you always say to me, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. Well, at least if they don't want to go to our stores or call us, then they from home can just join the live stream and get updates and health. And if they have health issues, they can ask questions. They can ask for other family members. So this is about educating the community to have self-reliance. A lot of you taking medication is not working, and that's why a lot of you are talking to us to get help. So invite friends and family to our live stream as well.
Yeah, you could just copy the URL from YouTube and paste it into your family WhatsApp chat and get a whole bunch of people to join us today and ask their questions. There's a lot to learn about health and nutrition. There is probably more misleading and incorrect information on the internet than there is valuable information. And it's literally a part-time job if you want to sift through all that information and figure out what's best for you. NuSpecies we like to take an approach that focuses on what has worked for many, many years, what has been well proven in science. And when it comes to our formulas and nutrition, we don't believe in reverse engineering nature, where we're trying to use individual vitamins and minerals and chemicals to recreate what nature has already done perfectly. NuSpecies formulas are whole foods. We formulate them so that each product has everything it needs to give your body the whole toolbox. So your body's wisdom is trusted to do what it's supposed to do. We believe that is the reason why we get such amazing results with our clients' health, because the body is truly empowered to do the work. We're not trying to do it for the body. And that mindset is very different than what your family and friends might be used to out there in the health food stores or dealing with their practitioners. So it's great for them to come on this live stream because it's a good opportunity for us to continue to educate about that mindset and help them get into a mindset that is really geared toward healing and long-term health.
And you use the key words reverse engineer. Companies do that because they can make the chemicals in lab. I was astonished about 20 years ago when I found out that a lime juice I was buying from a supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
I had been buying this lime juice since I came to the United States because I love my lime juice. I love my lemon juice. And I was astonished when a client came in from Long Island and said, that the lime juice is not natural. It tastes like lime. It smells like lime, but it's not lime. They actually bring the lime itself into the lab where, he worked. And they replicate, some of the chemicals, the more obvious chemicals for it to taste like lime. So a lot of times you're buying these juices in the supermarkets or wherever, and you're able to, pay $2 or $3 for a whole bottle of lime juice. It's not natural. It's not real. And it's not going to help you. And that goes for vitamins and minerals like calcium and, from rocks, that they use. Your body will not use these chemicals. They're compounds. They're not even chemicals. When we say chemicals, we should look to the periodic table of chemicals, right? They're not even chemicals. They're compounds. They're downgraded from chemicals to compounds. So be careful what you buy out there. And yes, we make our formulas not from natural whole foods to support the body. They have the biochemicals. Bio is key. Bio means biological, whether it's plant or animal. That's what bio means. And that's what our formulas are based on biochemicals. The body can use them to support, support itself.
So a couple quick announcements. We are still, so as you know, we had run a really long discount there for a while. It ended last week, but what has not ended is the discount on our rebuilding formulas. That started before the rest of the products went on discount, and it's going to continue after. It's our little consolation prize for the fact that some of our products will increase in price. These expensive rebuilding formulas will not increase in price. And for a while, we want to keep them discounted so that we can offset any impact on you for a while with the increase of price of some other products. That will take effect in another week or two. And believe it or not, we're just too busy to get to it, which is why
it was supposed to take effect yesterday or today.
or a week ago. Yeah.
So we said 2 weeks now. Who knows? It could be 2 months.
Oh gosh. But good morning, June. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Maxine. Those of you who are watching, if you don't have a question, it's fine. But we love when you say good morning or say hi and let us know you're here so we can see who's on. And then no matter what we're talking about, please go ahead and post questions. I can back up in the chat. I'll keep track of everything. So don't worry about overwhelming us. Just post your questions. So the discount on the rebuilding formulas continues. That is automatic. So as long as you're ordering on the website or in our store, the discount will apply. You don't actually have to do anything but value your health and pick up the products. Then we have our in-store calendar. Did you want to add to the discount?
No, it can wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Aston and I have our in-store calendar. We're going to pull that up on the screen just so you can see it. This is posted on our app. It's posted on our blog, on our website. It's updated in all of our stores. But basically, these are dates where Aston and I have committed to be in office to see you. So coming up next is Bronxville. So next Saturday, right after, well, I don't even know if we're going to make it before the stream. We put 11 o'clock for Bronxville next Saturday.
I would say maybe noon.
And the stream, yeah. Okay. Oh, gosh, I keep updating the sign. Okay. That's probably going to be more like noon because we want to be here on the stream with you at least for a half hour. So that's Bronxville next Saturday. And then the week after that, Ashley's on vacation. She works in Elmont. So Aston and I are going to keep the store open for Monday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 5. So if you want to see us in Elmont, we'll be there those days. And then we're opening up some dates here in Pauling. If you don't know, that's where we are right now in our studio. It's at our HQ in Pauling. This is a location anyone can come to purchase. But I know for a lot of you are in the city, and so this is not as convenient of a place, but it's a beautiful town with great food and cafes. It's great to walk around. So if you want to make a nice Saturday afternoon and come up to Pauling, see Aston, and then go have some lunch in town, that would be wonderful. So we'd love to see you over here in Pauling.
And that will be from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. So it's not going to be the whole day.
Right. So at minimum, we've committed that when we're in store, it'll at least be one Saturday per month for each location. And then if we're covering for an employee or something else is happening, we might be in store more often. And we will keep updating all of those places on the app and on our website and online. And if I ever get to it, on social media as well. Hi, Trevor. Good morning, Carl. Thank you for joining. All right. I think those were our primary. Oh, and our rewards program is pretty much ready to go. So I think it's going to be launching this coming week. There's just a couple little more technical things on the back end we're fixing, but otherwise, yeah, it should be ready to go this week.
Okay, so I guess everyone knows what rewards are. You're going to be getting goodies back.
Yes. So we worked it out so that we're going to have a rewards program called the NuSpecies Life. This is going to be as long as you have an account on our website, which we can help you create one if you don't. So if you're someone who already orders on our site, you have an account. What'll happen is the next time you go to our site, there'll be a pop-up that asks you to join our rewards program. I think it might ask you to either log in or create an account if you don't have one. And then all of your purchases will earn points, and all of your points will earn you discounts.
And what about referrals? Anything on that?
So there's other ways to earn points outside of purchasing. So one of the things that all of you have really wanted for a while is
for a long time
is a little something.
back.
when you refer people to NuSpecies.
Yeah.
So the way that that would work is if the rewards program will give you a link. So it'll say refer a friend. And when you click on that, it'll give you a link. If you share that link on your family WhatsApp chat or through text,
Friends.
you or through email, anyone who clicks that link and buys, the system will know that they purchased because of you, and then it'll award you a nice hunk of points that will get you faster to more discounts.
Sounds nice, right?
Mhm.
You're going to be paid missionaries.
Yes, exactly. Hi,
Yeah.
Rosemary. Good morning. Um, yeah, and so there's other ways to earn points, like a one-time earning of points if you enter your birth date, because that enables us to send you a birthday discount, which for
Hmm.
years people have been saying, why don't you do birthday discounts? And we had no way to automate that. So now you can enter your own birthday and you will get a nice, generous discount on your birthday. You'll also get discounts when you reach different tiers. So we have some VIP tiers involved. And then there's other ways that we made it so that there's a whole bunch of ways, like liking us on Facebook or subscribing on YouTube. Like all of those things should also earn you points. It'll tell you when you log in, and I'm going to create a brochure, so that'll be in the stores.
I can see your mind's working. Why has NuSpecies been doing this for years? Well, guess what? It happens now.
Yeah,
It's never too late.
yeah. Listen, we were supposed to raise the prices a week ago, and we haven't gotten to it yet. So if we can't get to that, then you understand. But yeah. Hi Olivia. Good morning. Will you be shipping to Canada anytime soon? I believe we are shipping to Canada.
We do.
I think we started up
But
again.
it takes it could get held up at customs. So the fastest way for you to get your products in Canada or Great Britain is to get a family member to ship it to you. When we ship as a company, it gets delayed at the border or at the customs for a number of days. Could even be a week or two.
Right.
So the best way is to get a family member or a friend to just ship it directly to you under their from their address. Once we use our company name, the Canadians, like the Brits and others, are trying to get us to put locations in their countries, and we're not ready for that yet. So you can just get a friend or family member to ship it to you. You get it a lot faster.
Right. So Olivia, that's if you are the one who's in Canada. If you are trying to ship something to Canada, it's better if you just buy from us and then you could just reuse the whole same box and just change the shipping label, bring it to a shipping place and have it sent from you as an individual to somebody in Canada.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I wanted to put it out there as well while you're all thinking about your questions or comments or feedback that if you have questions regarding uh, Dr. Google or Dr. Facebook, is that what you call them, or Dr. YouTube? A lot of you go on these platforms and they become your doctors. A lot of you in the consultation I do with you, you bring up what you read in the web, what you hear in the web, what you see in the web, and you know what happens? 100% of the time, you're all completely wrong about what you're reading. 100%. And I probably never used the term 100% before, but yes, all of you who have come to me with all those questions from what you see in on these social media platform, completely wrong. Because the people who have the real answers, they're not going to post it and give it away like that. You have to pay for it. They're not going to just give it away like that. So just want to caution you all about what you are reading, and a lot of you act on it. You spend money on it. You go off and buy things and just waste your money. So just want to caution you on that. So if you have anything that you've seen that you want to ask us about, if we don't know the answer, we'll get back to you next week with the answer. But we're going to tell you the truth.
Two things you can look out for when you are seeing something on social media or online that seems like it's going to be a solution to your problem, something you really want. Um, is first thing, are they selling you something? That doesn't necessarily mean that their information is incorrect, because we sell things and we think we give good information. But it's usually something to keep your alarms up. If they're trying to sell me something, there might be an agenda behind the way that this is being written. And then number two is it too simple? Are they talking about this one ingredient, this one herb,
Too
this one
easy.
product that is the solution for all of these issues or for a very serious issue? Because normally if it's too simple, it's probably not based in real science. Because if I've learned anything after all of these years, 16 years of doing this work, from manufacturing with our manufacturing team to the retail side of marketing and education, is that the truth from about nutrition and about how our body uses nutrition is complicated. It's really like, the other day we were talking with one of our really good clients and someone who recommends our products to a lot of people. Um, and she kept like firing out questions to us. Okay, now what should I do if I have a patient with this? And what should I do if I have a patient with that? And the way that she asked the question, you could tell she thought there was like, oh, just recommend this, this, and this. But we always have to come back and say, right, but how long have they had that? Do they have any other health issues? What exactly what do you think the cause is? And then it's frustrating because she's like, oh, can you just give me the answer? I want to tell these people what to buy. And we're like, we would love to just tell you, hey, buy this and your all your problems are solved. But it's always more complicated. So when you're looking online, if they're selling you something and it seems to be too simple, it's probably not the full story. And I would recommend doing more research before you spend any money.
And if you're buying anything that has chemicals, I was talking to this doctor yesterday in Bronxville. She buys at our Bronxville store. And she was telling me how many years she has been looking around for a company that truly sells natural products, because she says she knows that chemicals cause cancer, chemicals cause high blood pressure, diabetes, chemicals damage the genes and DNA. And a lot of people out there who are taking all these chemical or compound vitamins and minerals, and they're doing it very dutifully, they don't know they're hurting themselves. And to give you one example, let's take niacin. Niacin is one of the most important of the B vitamins, but you have to get it in the family of vitamins. So niacin helps our genes, natural niacin, biochemical niacin, not the compounds made in labs. Niacin helps the genes to make proteins, those key proteins, those absolutely key proteins like telomerase and polymerase and histones. Those are the proteins that support the genes to create amino acids. Imagine you're taking a compound, a chemical compound that is interacting with your DNA or your genes. It will damage your genes. It will damage your DNA. So a lot of you are making yourself sick and you don't know that. And that's just one example. I could go through all the B vitamins and show you how every B vitamin interacts with our genes and our DNA. Every B vitamin. And if you're taking the singly by itself, you're taking the B6 or the B12, like a lot of you tell me you do, you're poisoning yourself. Yes, you may get a little energy, but you're damaging your genes to do that. You're damaging your DNA to do that. You should be taking natural whole food supplements that your body can use to create energy and create healthy proteins and healthy fats. Okay?
I was listening to a probiotics expert on a podcast the other day, and it was so interesting to listen to him because he sounded just as frustrated as we do with how people just so vastly misunderstand probiotics and how companies just jump on these trends and just make anything, even if there's nothing to back up that's effectiveness, and they market it to just whomever they think they're going to make money off of. And then people buy it thinking,
Mhm.
okay, well, it's on the shelf. It says it's for this. It must be true. And they waste their time and money and potentially harm themselves. So his example was, and this goes for like when we talk about our B vitamins and how we
Mhm.
explain that our B vitamins are actually extracted directly from food.
Mhm.
They're not made in a lab. And yet the problem is they're called exactly the same thing.
Right.
So his example was, what if I were to come to you and say, hey, come out to dinner with me tomorrow. I'm going to bring George Clooney. And you're like, sure, I want to meet George Clooney. Okay. And so you show up at dinner, and sitting next to him at the table is his 15-year-old nephew, whose name is George Clooney. And he happens to be babysitting him that night. And he invited you to come out to dinner with him and his nephew. And you're like, okay, that's not George Clooney. But technically, the name says George Clooney, and he didn't lie, right?
That's a
And
good
so
one.
it's the same thing where you could be buying niacin and thinking, oh, you're getting niacin. And of course, if it's called niacin, it must be nice. And it
Right,
must be the thing that is going to help my body. And it's just not true.
right.
It's so frustrating for consumers and for those of us who are trying to educate and sell the right thing. It's so difficult.
And you're watching us right now. A lot of you join dutifully every week because of the information we give you, and we invite you to go online and research it for yourself. I give you another tidbits. B7, biotin. I just said that the niacin helps to create all these powerful proteins to support our body. No one needs a protein supplement. If you're taking a really good, completely natural or from natural sources B vitamins like ours, you don't need protein supplements. Whether you're a runner or you just go to the gym or you're an athlete, you do not need. The body will make the proteins you need if you give your body the right amount of the B vitamins you should be taking. So B7, biotin. You want good carbs? Do you want good fats? That's what B7 does. If you're taking natural B7, if you're taking the family of vitamins with B7, your body's going to make really good carbs and really good fats, healthy fats, healthy carbs, healthy carbohydrates. So stop getting tricked by all these companies out there who are just out there to make money. And I'm not saying they shouldn't make money, but we're educating you so that you don't fall victim to that.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who take the time to attend our stream, that's why you're going to learn all this, and you're going to share with family and friends so you can protect them as well. So whatever information or knowledge we impart to you is for you to share with the community. Share with your family and your friends and your coworkers. We don't charge you to sit here and listen to us and all of that. So share.
To spread the word for us,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes,
We're
spread
gonna
the
start
word.
creating a whole lot more literature, so each product will have its own, pamphlet or something, and then you could just hand it to them. All
And
right.
we could keep going on with all of our formulas, and
Yeah.
we at some point in the future we probably should just
Yes.
talk about each formula each week.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gracelyn Yolanda James. Hi, Gracelyn. She says, what would cause someone to wake up every night at 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. and then struggle to go back to sleep?
Stress,
Stress, too much blue light before bed.
which is stress.
Right. But yeah.
Stress means that the body is not functioning the way it should, and usually stress comes from the stress hormones. They're revved up. When your body is revved up, that's what stress really is. And the messengers, hormones are messengers, and the hormones are firing, at the speed of light throughout your whole body. Maybe not the speed of light, but very fast, and it just keep you activated. And that's what stress is. People think stress is just worrying, thinking and worrying about something. No, it's when the hormones are revved up. The hormones are messengers, and then your body start to create too much cortisol or steroids. Depress the body function, depress the DNA genes function, depress the immune system. That's what stress really is. And speaking of the B vitamins, it's an excellent formula that we have that can support your body against stress. But take it in the morning if you get it. Don't take it in the evening because it can give you a lot of energy.
Right. So, one of a couple of things that can create stress and mess up your sleep would be caffeine. So, generally speaking, so caffeine has like a 6-hour half life. So, if you drink it, let's say at noon, it'll be 6 p.m. before that caffeine has actually processed out of your body and is not affecting the receptors in your brain for melatonin. So, ideally, don't drink caffeine after noon. If you're drinking tea or coffee, or have any other source of caffeine, maybe it's a sneaky source of caffeine and like a supplement or an energy drink. Um, do a little audit in your life for that and maybe just do an experiment for a while and try not to have any sort of stimulant like caffeine after noon for a while. Also, any excessive blue light, like looking at screens, maybe you have blue lights in your bedroom blinking or too much light coming into your bedroom. You want your bedroom to be completely dark. And I would discontinue looking at screens after 7 p.m. That way, you give your brain time. There's so much science and studies on this, and I read like I don't know half of a book was dedicated to this about sleep. Blue light is just it's definitely going to stop that. Um, And what a lot of these things do is even though you fall asleep, they stop you from entering REM sleep, which could be why you're waking up so easily in the middle of the night. And then eating too late. So if your body's trying to digest, you're creating a huge burden on your body that shouldn't be there when it's supposed to be resting. So maybe you're eating too late. And then there could be emotional stress. Maybe something really just difficult is happening for you right now, or maybe it's happening and you're not fully processing the trauma or stress of it. And so it's waking you up at night. So there could be a lot of things, but those would be the big ones.
So the world has gotten so complicated, and there's just so many interactions that we're having with everything. If you look around, everyone carries a cell phone in their hand or their pocketbook, and it's always making noise, whether it's ringing or giving notification, and you can't escape it. Those are stress factors. There's just so many things that are stressing out our bodies, and what you all need to do, because we're all stressed out because of the environment that we live in now. You need to be rebuilding your genes and your DNA so your body can react more positively. That's the key. The key to life is our DNA. Keep them strong, and they will find a way to accommodate the stress and alleviate any damage to our genes, and that can cause sickness like cancers. A lot of cancers are caused from stress. That's why a lot of cancers are hormonal in nature.
Mhm. And also, don't underestimate the whole blue light thing because the studies have shown, at least Dr. Chatterjee says the studies that he has read show that even like one tiny blinking little blue light in your room, maybe from like some device you have plugged in, and even when our eyelids are closed, we can still register the blue light and it can affect your sleep. So ideally, you've got blackout curtains on your windows, no electronics in your bedroom, and that you shut down technology before 7 p.m. So just take that very seriously.
And if you wonder how that works with a blue light or other lights, is because we're all electrical beings. Every cell in our body is electrical because every cell in our body has atoms. So we're electrical beings, and the light we're sitting in every day, we're also interacting with that light. And it's even more, so at nights when, you're trying to sleep, you're trying to relax, your body is interacting with the environment. So I know this all sounds crazy to you, but some of you may not have these issues, sleeplessness, but stress can lead to high blood pressure, diabetes, a lot of cancers. So if you're stressed out, if you're not getting adequate sleep, in REM sleep, as Jill says, you need to find a way to overcome that, because your body will break down eventually with all the hormones flying around, causing and leaving free radicals.
Mhm. All right. Rosemary asks, what is the best supplement to take for calcium? So I would say, I don't know if you already know, Rosemary. I know you've been a client with us, I'm pretty sure, for a while. We have our calcium complex. And I think now the updated label just says calcium, but it's a plant-based calcium. It's calcium that comes from algae. So it is not rock. So most of the calcium, if not almost all of the calcium on the market right now, is either calcium citrate or calcium, another one of those chemicals.
Carbonate.
Carbonate, yes. Those all come from limestone. So literally rock.
Yeah.
That is how they're making those calciums. And, last I checked, we don't digest rock. So,
Our ancestors used to use calcium carbonate to make bricks, to make the pyramids, to make the temples. This is what, 5,000 years, 6,000 years ago. So
yeah.
there's no way we should be digesting these things.
Yeah, we cannot digest them. And in fact, in talking with our manufacturing team, we do a lot of studies because when we source these ingredients, we want to see very convincing studies that tell us that the formulas we're going to create are going to be beneficial. And so when we were looking at studies for calcium citrate or calcium carbonate, they actually show no health benefits at all, like none.
Because they have
Um,
known biochemicals.
and
There's no
then
biomolecules in them. That's why.
our bodies just can't use it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, uh, they potentially could be causing harm. So we really truly recommend you just avoid those forms of calcium. Now, if you can find another form of calcium and for whatever reason you don't want to use NuSpecies, just make sure it's not calcium citrate or calcium carbonate. Um, Ours comes from a plant-based. Currently, it comes in both a liquid and a powder form. I believe we're going to be switching our powdered form to an encapsulated form and still offer the liquid. So you'll have the capsules or the liquid. It's the same formulation, and it gives you plenty of calcium. Depending on if you are deficient or not, will change the dose that you take, and we could always talk about that when you go to buy it.
And speaking of calcium from rocks, I'm going to ask you all a question. Do you remember your grandparents or your great grandparents? I'm not even going to say your parents, because your parents have and you have been taking these rocks of calcium. Do your do your grandparents have they ever had gallstone or kidney stone? A lot of you are coming to me with gallstone, kidney stone. That's what that's what the chemical compound calcium can do to your body. So those of you who have gallstone or kidney stone, you see how hard it is. Our ancestors, the Kushite Kemites, 6,000 years ago, they use calcium carbonate in their bricks to make the bricks hard. And that's what companies are giving us to drink or eat as calcium for our health. You see the fallacy in that. Calcium carbonate make things harder.
But
They
someone
make
could say, "Oh, well, doesn't that mean I'm going to have tougher bones?"
no.
No, your body has to actually be able to
To use
digest
it,
it first and use it.
metabolize it.
And then your body creates the tough bones.
Right.
You don't need to put tough bone directly into your body. You need to give your body what it needs to turn into tough bones. Our body, again, already knows what to do.
Right.
We just need to give it the right tools.
So these calcium that are made from rocks or other compounds or chemicals just float around the body, the kidney, flush a lot of it out. The if you're lucky, the liver flushes a lot of it out. But keep in mind that the gallbladder is attached to the liver, and that's why a lot of people get gallstones. And then the kidney is attached to the bladder. That's why a lot of you get kidney stones. So if you have these issues, you may be eating foods. It may not even be the calcium you're using. A lot of the foods you're eating have chemicals that your bodies just can't digest. And what the body does with the whatever it retains, it solidifies it, and that's what become the gallstone, the kidney stones, and making you all sick. So be careful of what you're eating out there. It's not just the calcium itself. It could be foods that have other chemicals that have calcium that calcifies into these stones and cause lumps and bumps and can lead to cancer. Yes, if you have high calcium, Google it right now. High calcium is a sign of cancer in the human body. It may not be detectable, but if the calcium is high, it's a sign of cancer.
We have a couple of other questions. I'm just going to quickly skip to Jennifer because she's on the same calcium topic. So she is saying, "How do I boost my calcium intake? I'm perimenopausal." So, we're always going to recommend, Rosemary asked specifically about a calcium supplement, so I answered about a supplement. But ideally eating lots and lots of dark leafy greens and
Spinach,
things like broccoli, spinach. These all have a lot of calcium naturally. And the good news is calcium is a mineral, so it's not heat sensitive. So if you are to cook those green foods, you're still going to get the calcium.
Right.
Versus if you're hoping to get vitamins from your green foods, cooking them is going to kill the vitamins.
Right.
So to speak. So because they're not like alive, but they're active, they'll become deactivated or damaged.
They have the cofactors. They call it the cofactors. The enzyme chemicals in them. That's why you can boil them, and you still have good calcium. You still have good, minerals if that's what you're doing with cooked foods.
Yeah. So I would say the first thing you should do is eat tons and tons of vegetables. Like find a way to enjoy them, find recipes where you like them, and just start eating lots of vegetables. But if you then also need a supplement, maybe it's going to be a while before you figure out how to eat a lot of vegetables. Maybe you already are eating them and you still need a supplement. Then I obviously, for us, we highly recommend NuSpecies calcium because it comes in both a liquid and a powder, and it's a plant-based source of calcium, which is very usable by your body, which is the key. You want nutrients, you want supplements in a form your body can digest and then put to use. It doesn't matter if it says this is calcium. That doesn't automatically mean it's in a form your body knows what to do with. For us, it's plant-based. It's still cold processed, even though minerals are not heat sensitive, because algae, that formula comes with lots of other benefits.
Mhm.
So we like to cold process so we keep all the goodness and you'd be getting a lot more than just calcium. So that's what I would recommend, Jennifer. And if you have any further questions, just post them in the chat, or you can always set up a consultation or call us and talk to me if you'd like.
Boy, you're learning a lot about calcium today, folks.
Yeah, Aston was just saying this morning we should do like a product review on every episode. So you helped us do that naturally.
So we just did two. We did B vitamins and we've just done calcium.
All right. So Trevor Ingram, hi Trevor. He says, "What is good for watering eyes?"
Water and eyes, you should get an MRI because it could be the glands. You know, our face have probably millions of glands, not even hundreds, probably millions of tiny little glands to protect our brain, protect what goes on into our stomach. So you probably should do an MRI to see the cause of that. It could be a lot of reasons. It could be your sinus, it could be allergies, it could be so many things, Trevor. So do an MRI. If it's really bad and you're going to the eye doctor and they're just giving you eye drops, or you feel like you're being pushed around, then you need to, you need more than an eye exam. You need to know what's causing the eye. The eye may be healthy and it's just leaking out, tears, but there could be something else in the brain, in the head, that's causing the water. And it could be optic nerve. It could be anything. I could give you 100 different reasons why you could be having water in eyes, or someone could be having water in eyes. You really need to know the root cause. And the best thing to do is to do an MRI.
And I'm assuming, Trevor, you don't have allergies or any other obvious irritant that's making your eyes water. If you change, maybe you changed your, I don't know if you use a face wash or a cologne or some sort of environmental factor that maybe recently changed. Could be irritating your eyes. You never know.
Right.
I mean, like 10 years ago, there was over 80,000 man-made chemicals used in our products that have never been tested for safety. And I'm sure there's a whole lot more now. So, don't underestimate the amount of irritants in your environment that could be impacting your health. Even when you try to control all the things you can to stay healthy, those environmental factors are really should never be underestimated. So.
And to your point, if it's your eyes, we do have an eye formula, which is the circulation formula with the anti-inflammatory together. And that's what we've been using successfully to help people to rebuild their eyes. So it's something that you ingest, not something you put in the eye. So it's a circulation formula and the anti-inflammatory. That's so any of you who have eye issues, whatever it is, glaucoma, cataract, astigmatism, any of those issues, you can get our eye formula or our eye system to support rebuilding the blood vessels in your eye for blood circulation and oxygenation of the eye.
All right. May asks, "Good morning. Please explain what the God formula does." So we have two product reviews in one episode.
So the God formulas, we have 4 God formulas. And it would be good to know, May, which you're taking or which you plan to take or which you intend to take. But we have 4 God formulas. So let's take them 1 through 4. The first God formula, just to make it brief, is the general rebuilder for the immune system. So all our God formulas rebuild the immune system. So anyone who has any health issue, not just cancer or tumors or mass or cysts or lesions or chronic inflammation or chronic infection, bacterial, viral, the God formulas rebuild the immune system to help the body to get rid of these things, whatever they are. So the God Formula 1 is the general God formula that rebuilds the immune system generally. And yes, your lab reports say, we have 17 to 18 or 16 to 18 white blood cells. Our bodies actually have thousands of white blood cells, not measured by a medical exam. They only measure those that we know of and those that we can track and identify and study. And it's between 16 and 17, depending on what laboratory you're talking to. So that's God Formula 1. It rebuilds the general immune system, including the WBC, which is the most important that you all should be tracking. If your WBC is low, you're in trouble. You can get any disease, including cancer. God Formula 2 rebuild the white blood cells that are in the blood. So the God Formula 2 helps to oxygenate the blood and provide powerful blood circulation to tissues where there's infection or inflammation or cancer. So you can take God Formula 1 and 2 together. but its purpose is to rebuild the white blood cells that are in the blood to make them more powerful, keep the blood cleaner with more oxygen, so the white blood cells are more powerful. God Formula 3 is a God formula that helps to it's not an anti-inflammatory, but it has the function to also power up the white blood cells in any inflammatory condition. If you have asthma, you have infection, you have any of those free radical sicknesses that even cancer, the inflammation, that's what all diseases are. All diseases start with infections. The God Formula 3 will help to rebuild the white blood cells that are in the infection to be more potent to help the body rid itself of any inflammation. God Formula 4 is our antiviral. It's our antibacterial. It is our antimicrobial. And if you have parasites, it can help you. So that's what God Formula 4 is. So you can take all four God formulas if you have any kind of issue that you want to get rid of. What's going to happen is that you're going to get better faster. Or you can just take one, dependence on the issue you have. And since you mentioned the God formulas, we have a new formula. Well, we don't know when it's going to be out. It's called the New Genesis. And we may call it a God formula. I don't know. I think Mary has some bottles that she's labeled with God formula 5 in it, but we haven't gotten there yet. For now, it's the New Genesis, and this new formula helps to detox, purify, and rebuild genes and DNA. It's a powerful formula to help to support the body, support the genes, the DNA against infections. So if you want your genes and DNA to be produced in powerful white blood cells, and that's the key. Everything we have said today has related back to DNA and genes because those are the foundation of all life forms on Earth, plants and animals.
All right.
That was a mouthful, wasn't it?
Never heard Aston talk so fast. All right. So we have time for the 2 questions that are left, and then we will be wrapping up.
Okay.
All right. So, hi, Suzanne, July. Good morning. Okay.
It's funny you call her July. I call her Julie.
Julie.
Yeah. So Susan, what is it? Is it Julie or July?
I think she
Or
said to me.
Julie? Huh?
She said to me last week, July.
Yeah. So Susan, I've been calling you the wrong thing for all these years. It's a good thing NuSpecies is helping you while you continue with me mispronouncing your name.
Actually, and I mean, she spells her name Suzanne. So you might be saying that wrong too.
Suzanne.
Let us know.
Okay. Is it Julie or July? Because when I see your name, I see Julie. I don't see July.
All right. Well, when she chats, we will figure that out. All right. So let's get back up to Olivia Bowen. Your formula that is used for fibroids and endometriosis, how long before you start seeing results?
It depends on how chronic it is. Some people have fibroids for years, and some people have many fibroids. It can work within a month. It can work up to 3 months, 6 months, even a year. It depends on how chronic your fibroids are. The larger they are, it's the longer it will take for the body to shrink them. So our formula, the Queen Nanny, it's not for fibroids. Don't think of it as for fibroids or endometriosis. It's a formula that helps to support the woman's body to balance the hormones. The reason why you have fibroids is because, one, during your menstrual cycle, usually that's where it begins, even as girls in the teen, you could have one cell in the uterus that is inflamed, one cell. What estrogen does, especially if it's in excess, it causes one cell that you can't see with the naked eye. The power microscope to see that one cell. It multiplies rapidly and forms a tumor or fibroid. So the longer you have this issue, the longer you have the hormonal imbalance, the longer you're anemic, the longer you have other hormonal issues like, let's say you have ovarian cysts, or if you have endometriosis, it means the walls of the uterus are inflamed. So yes, the formula helps to balance your estrogen, balance your progesterone, balance steroids and other hormones. And that is how you kill the fibroid, because those abnormal hormones are what feed into fibroids. Those abnormal hormones are what feed in the endometriosis. If you have ovarian cyst or dense breast or thyroid nodule or pituitary gland lesions or cysts, it's the same. The hormones are abnormal and they're too many, and they become free radicals. And you know what free radicals do? That's why they call them radical. They destroy everything. They're like chemotherapy or radiation. They kill healthy cells. They damage healthy cells. That's why free radicals are bad. So anyone who has excess hormones, man or woman, that's why men get prostate issues. But here we're talking about women's issue. The excess hormones, that's what leads to they turn into free radicals because the liver and the kidney can't purge them out fast enough. And here's the key for you all, ladies. Estrogen is like fire. It's like looking into the sun with naked eyes at noon, at the equator, when the sun is the lowest of the earth. So fibroids, it's fiery. Once you have estrogen, once you have excess, you just have more fire burning in your body than the progesterone can alleviate or keep under control, because those two hormones, they work together, progesterone and estrogen. So that's what fibroids are. That's what endometriosis are. That's what women's health issues are. It's just hormones in the endocrine system that have gone mad, literally gone mad, especially estrogen, the most powerful hormone in a woman's body.
All right.
So the Queen Anne helps to balance all of that, and that's how your body gets to fix itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we've got our last question. By the way, May said, cool, I'll get the God Formula 4 as I just want something to keep close by just in case.
And everybody should have a God Formula at home. And when the new Genesis is out, everybody should have a God Formula and new Genesis at home. I can tell you that you're going to make one of the most important investments in your family's health in your lifetime. You ever hear me talk like this? Is because I've seen the proof from the people who've been taking the samples all over the world for the last several years. Extraordinarily good.
And we're not going to play dumb. It's expensive, so we get it. We're not saying anybody's able to go out and just buy it, but if it's something you can, find a way to finance and pay a little bit, if you don't really need it actively every day, you can make it last for a really long time. And if you divide the cost out over a really long time, it works out to be reasonable to have that peace of mind, some very powerful herbal medicine by your side.
But it's expensive, but we're making it affordable to you. Just off the
It
God
is
Formula,
26% off right now.
you get 20% off the small bottle, I think, the 2-ounce bottle. You get 20% off. So it's going to cost like $288. And then if you get the big bottle, you're going to get almost $300 off, which is almost the price. Actually, you're going to get the price of a small bottle in discount if you get the big bottle. And that's why we're keeping the discounts up there on the website for these more potent formulas, because we want all of you to be on them. Even if you get a bottle and it lasts you 2 years, that's okay. Take it as medicine. Take it as needed. But you should have it at home. And then the new Genesis, Jillian has made me to do something really crazy. It's half price. Well, we don't have any in stock right now. And I think when it comes out, we may keep it that way for a little while. But the new Genesis,
it also has no label right now, so
it's going to be like $200. And if you get the 8-ounce bottle and you sip on it, it can last you 3 months, 6 months. So we really want you to use our God formulas in the new Genesis as medicine. However, if you have cancer, you're going to take the dosages we recommend to build back your body as quickly as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Our last question for today comes from Yvonne Brown. And she says, what is the recommendation for blepharospasm? Which I had to look that up because I wasn't sure what it was. And that's apparently how it's pronounced as well. So blepharospasm, you probably know, but is the term used to describe involuntary movements of the eyelids. In its more severe or rare form, the person experiences squeezing and closing of the eyelids. So I don't know, Yvonne, if you want to post in the chat just a little more detail, if you're having like an extreme version or rare version or just the involuntary, twitching.
So if it's the eyelid, it's likely not the eye, just muscle. And anyone who have these type of issues usually have twitches elsewhere in their bodies. So 2 things. A lot of times when we get twitch in our muscles is because our muscles are dehydrated. So, and Jill mentioned earlier about the calcium. She spoke extensively about stress. Everybody should be properly hydrated. One of the purpose of hydration is to purge the body of all these compounds and chemicals and free radicals and infection and inflammation. If the body is not properly hydrated, all these chemicals and free radicals and inflammation just going to circle back around in the bloodstream. And then eventually, it's going to cause stress and some sickness, blood pressure, diabetes, cancer. So,
She
yes.
said she has an extreme version.
Right. So it's so if it's extreme and you experience it regularly, then you have a neurological problem, and you probably should see a neurologist to get some medical exams done so it can be determined what nerves are affecting your muscles. So you should get an MRI done as soon as you can. And it doesn't sound like an eye issue. It sounds more muscular and neurological. But the MRI would pick up, hopefully, if there's an eye related issue to the aorta or any of those other nerves supporting the aorta. So the best thing to do is to get the root cause, get an MRI done so we can be sure. I would love to say the eye formula, but we don't know.
And she said I did that, and he said he can't help me anymore.
But could you send me the lab reports from your eye doctors? I'm sure you have an ophthalmologist and other eye doctors that you have gone to. And if you have a neurologist, send me those. Send me the labs. Who's asking?
Yvonne Brown.
Okay. Yeah, just send me the labs, and because a lot of times you go to the doctor, and this is something for all of you. This is probably the most important thing I'm going to say today to all of you. When you go to the doctor, and you look at your blood report and you see all these L's and H, higher lows, and you look at your MRI and you see that you have these inflammatory condition, and you wonder why the doctor is saying that everything is fine, you look good. A lot of you ask me that now because what a lot of you do, you go and Google, and you Google what these terms mean, and you see that something is not right. If the doctors don't have medication for the issue you have, they will not mention it. They skip right over it. So you could look at your MRI or your scan or your X-ray or your blood report, and you have 5, 10 things in there, and the doctor say you're looking good, your labs look good. It's because all those other issues, the doctors have no medication to give you. And the doctor is not being disingenuous. If the doctor has these issues, like the doctor I spoke to yesterday, in Bronxville, where one of our locations is located, if they have these issues, and they do, they're in the boat that you're in, same boat. There's no medication for them. So if you have kidney issues, there's no medication for kidney issues. All the doctors can do is wait until the conditions you have get worse, where you need surgery, or you need to do some other medication or chemo or radiation. And the doctors are in the same boat. So the doctors are not being disingenuous. They don't have any medication for it. So there's no point wasting the 15 minutes they're giving you to go over your labs, or 10 minutes or 5 minutes talking about something they can't help you with.
Yeah. And I mean, just quickly looking online, which, we warn you not to do that. But in this case, there's like it's saying common causes are like lack of sleep, stress, vitamin deficiencies. So if that's the case, then there really is nothing a doctor can do for those things. You'd wish your doctor would say those things to you, because maybe you could have made adjustments to your lifestyle a long time ago. I don't know how long this has been affecting you, Yvonne, but then that means that NuSpecies is perfectly suited to fill in that gap. And that's where this is great.
And the doctors won't say that to you, because 35 years ago, the Congress changed a law to make doctors not discuss nutrition with you or discuss these things with you they can't help you with, because a lot of people were suing the doctors. And then the Congress passed some laws to say, so, okay, doctors, you're getting sued, you're leaving the profession, your insurance are going through the roof. Just don't discuss these things with your patients. Don't try to help them. by discussing vitamins and all this. That's why your doctors don't recommend vitamins anymore or minerals anymore. They don't, because if they do and you get sick, we're going to sue them and they're going to lose their license. They're going to lose their medical license. So that's why the doctors will not discuss these things anymore. And a lot of us, complain why the doctors don't care. They don't care because when they care, a lot of people they sue them.
Yeah, and also they just aren't being paid enough to spend the time on something that they can't treat. So, the good news
Right.
here, Yvonne, is that maybe it's just very simple lifestyle thing, some supplementation. So I'd say right away you can start drinking more water and planning to get more sleep. And then you could definitely get our B vitamin complex, vitamin D, and the mineral. That's going to give you all of the basic, all of the vitamins and minerals you need on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And right away, you could start to see if it gets better.
Yeah.
And then also in your labs, if you have severe deficiencies causing those twitches, then it should show on your chemistry panel. So, Aston will be able to see it when you send them.
Right. It will show in the chemistry panel or your urine. It would show that your urine is toxic. Your pH is probably a little higher than it should be, not necessarily high. Your ketones are off. The squamous epithelial in your cell in your urine are off. There are many signs of that, but again, there's no medical treatment for the issues like these. When it comes to neurological issue, yes, you're going to get steroids, but there's no medical medicine out there that's going to fix it. If you have nerves that are damaged or dying, there's no medicine that can prevent that from happening. It just happens until, the nerves become numb, tingle, and then numb, and then they die. Once they stop numbing, they're dying and the nerves just go away. So, but you heard Joe, get those formulas and start rebuilding your genes and DNA. That's what vitamins and minerals do. They rebuild our genes and DNA and our cells. At least start there. Drink plenty of water. If you don't have kidney disease or congestive heart disease or liver, if your liver enzymes are not high, then you can start, getting more fluids in your body that may help your muscles. So typically we recommend that you drink half your body weight in ounces of water. But in this case, if you have heart issues or kidney issues or liver issues, you should consult with the doctor before you do what I just said with your intake with water. But definitely the vitamins, the minerals, you can go on those and start supporting your genes and DNA to produce healthy cells and healthy tissue. That's what genes do. Healthy proteins make healthy cells and healthy organs.
All right. And Yvonne, I think Mary's going to put them in the chat. I think we just have like a package that has all three in them. But it's the B vitamin complex, the mineral complex, and vitamin D. That'll get you all of the vitamins and minerals that you need on a daily basis. Some people will ask, well, why don't you just make the formula with vitamin D in it? Because that would be easier. And when we think more about convenience, we then lose like the reality of how nutrition works. So for NuSpecies, when we make our formulas, we want to provide vitamins and minerals as often as possible that are a whole food source. And when we can't, and the only exception is the B vitamins, we extract directly from a whole food source. When it comes to vitamin D, in a wild caught, for us, it's a wild caught Norwegian cod, their liver produces vitamin D. So when you take the oil that the liver produces from a cod and we cold process it, so no heat, because vitamin D, which is actually a hormone, would be damaged with heat processing. So when we cold process from a wild caught cod, because they're eating a natural diet, so their liver is producing all of these healthy vitamins and minerals, but in this case, the hormone, because the liver produces hormones, then you're going to get as biologically appropriate a source of vitamin D as possible in a supplement, because really your body should just be producing that itself. So that for us is the best version that we can think of. And all of that to say, if it's an oil, it can't be combined with the vitamins and minerals products that we have.
It will destroy them.
Yeah, we don't want those together in the same bottle. So that's why they have to be separate. It's because we're trying to keep things as close to nature as possible in a supplement form. And then doing things right doesn't always equal the cheapest or most convenient delivery system. But we'd rather fight against that than sell stuff that we don't believe in. Right. So that's why you're going to get all three bottles.
And to close on vitamin D, just so you all know, the extreme measures that we take to ensure that you're getting the highest quality. The vitamin D from the cod liver um, is the best vitamin D known to science, second to the sun. The sun is the best source of vitamin D, and studies have shown, and I've looked at these studies from all over the world, including Great Britain, and that's why I am believing it now, that the cod liver, second to the sun, is the best source of vitamin D. So something for all of you to keep in mind. And yes, a lot of the vitamin D on the market, they're chemicals and they're made in labs, and that's why they cost $5 or $3 or whatever they cost. So be careful of taking chemicals. These oils are powerful. Oils are powerful. So if you're doing oils, make sure it's biological, it's completely natural. Oils are destructive, more destructive to our genes and DNA. Oils are more destructive to our body than any other food in the universe. Oils are even worse than chemicals. That's how powerful oils are. And that's why people out there love oils, but they may not know that they're playing with fire. Your body has to be able to metabolize oil for you to be able to use it and not get damage to your genes and DNA. Oils are very powerful.
All right. So before we go off today, before we were on the stream, I double checked and we were up to 951 subscribers,
Uh-oh.
which means we need 50 more subscribers to get to over 1,000. So if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe today before you leave our channel. The reason is because not because we want to like feel good about ourselves and have lots of followers, but because for those of you who do follow us and join our streams, there's some cool features we can add to this live video that are only available if we have 1,000 subscribers
From
or
Google.
more.
Google will give them to us,
From
give us
YouTube,
these
right.
features if we're over 1,000. So yeah,
Right.
we are yelling at you a little bit.
Yeah. And
Family
so
and friends all around the world. You have a lot of family. Come on, get us 50 more subscribers by the end of the day.
we've been eking up every single week. We need to see it happen a little faster because we want to add these cool features to our stream. They're not features we can just pay for. Otherwise, we would. We need the subscribers to do it. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe today. While you're at it, you can click the notification bell so you always know when we are live. And then you can like our content. That always helps. You could like today's video and certainly share the link to today's video because the way that we're answering questions and providing education may be something that could really help save someone you know and love from a lot of suffering because sometimes the answers are way easier than we think. We waste time, what I call in medical prison, and we don't realize that there's a lot we can do for ourselves. And that's what NuSpecies is hoping to help you do, whether it's through our products or through our education or just through our overall support so that you can live a better and longer life. That's what we want for you, and we want that for your loved ones. So share our content. It really could make the difference in someone else's life.
Okay.
All right. In the meantime, keep an eye out. If you haven't downloaded our app, please do so. Please allow notifications because we're always going to keep you informed from our app about discounts, about in-store appearances from us, and also just in general our business hours because employees need to take time off and we have to let you know when the stores will be closed. Please join our email list. If you do join our email list, open the emails, be active, and otherwise, yeah, we'll keep you informed of everything going on. So don't worry.
And thank you for joining today. Hope you love our discussions of vitamins, B vitamins, and vitamin D, and calcium, and minerals. We're going to keep talking more about these formulas because we know a lot of you are abusing your bodies unknowingly and unintentionally, and we're going to help you to do that. Fix that and stop doing that. We're going to help you, help educate you so that you can help your friends and family. It's all about the family. It's all about the family, your NuSpecies family, and then you have your family. It's all about the community. All of us working together to make our community, our NuSpecies community, strong and powerful.
All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We finally have some cooler weather, so maybe we can get outside, take a walk, go to a farmer's market, buy some vegetables. So you need to be eating lots of vegetables, taking your NuSpecies products, getting sleep, drinking water, managing stress, doing some deep breathing. These are all key components to to making sure you have an excellent week next week. So if you have some time, dedicate it to yourself today. And that's what we will be doing. Sorry. Cherie says, what time Bronxville closes today? At 7. Maxine says, great discussion. Very informative. Thank you. You're welcome, Maxine. Charisse and Fitzroy both said, thank you for the information. So did June and Suzanne. Suzanne confirmed that I am saying her name right. Suzanne, Julie, July. No, I'm saying it wrong. We got to go. We got to end the stream.
I mess her up. I mess her up, Julie. Okay, July.
All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week.